trends on LJE News.
In terms of tackling security, there is lack of political will.
Beyond the headlines,
who are the sponsors of insecurity in this country?
from breaking news to everyday conversations, this is where Nigeria's conversations begin. We track the issues shaping Nigeria and the world today. The world is talking, and we're listening. This is Trends on LJE News. Conversations begin. We track the issues shaping Nigeria and the world today. The world is talking, and we're listening. This is Trends on LJE News.
Hello and welcome to another edition of Trends on LJE News, where we bring you the latest and developing stories in Nigeria and of course across the globe. My name is Omotola Adeleke. I have my colleagues in the studio. Faith, you're welcome.
Thank you for
Hope
having me.
you had a great night.
I did.
All right. We also have Esther here. Esther, how are you doing?
Very fine, thank you.
Okay. The problem of yesterday is gone and gone forever. But it's still remaining. All right. So Judith is also right here with us. Judith, it's been a while.
Has it?
Have you?
It's not.
It's been like 2 days.
That's not a while.
Okay. All right, so you're all welcome to the studio, by the way. Don't also forget to be a part of our growing online community by hitting that follow, like, share, and subscribe button right now on all platforms at LJE News. Let's quickly run through our headlines for this edition of Trends. Peter Obi leads protest, demands mandatory electronic transmission of result. Remi Tinubu calls U.S. airstrike a blessing. 6 more. U.S. host snubs Remi Tinubu amid religious violence cover-up. U.S. judge orders FBI, DEA to release Tinubu's files, slams unreasonable delay. Killings will reduce now you've joined APC, Akpabio tells Plateau governor. Dangote on the court. Marketers say imported fuel now cheaper. On to the first story for today. Peter Obi, Labour Party's presidential candidate in the 2023 election, on Monday led protesters to the National Assembly demanding the reinstatement of mandatory electronic transmission of election result in the ongoing Electoral Act amendment. The demonstrators, including right activist Aisha Yesufu, gathered at the complex's entrance carrying placards condemning electoral fraud and warning Senate President Godswill Akpabio against undermining democracy. The protest follows widespread outrage over the Senate's removal of clauses mandating real-time electronic transmission of result to INEC's IREF portal. While lawmakers cited fears of network failures and potential legal dispute, critics argue the move weakens electoral transparency. Addressing journalists, Mr. Obi urged lawmakers to reconsider, warning that Nigeria must not repeat the mistakes of flawed elections. Mrs. Yusufu went further, calling for Akpabio's impeachment if the Senate refuses to act, insisting the legislature must prioritize citizens' will. As protesters protest against the proposed INEC electoral reform bill and it intensifies, especially at the National Assembly, Nigerians on social media question former Vice President Atiku Abubakar's silence, while Labour Party's Peter Obi joined demonstrators in Abuja. Many ex-users criticized Atiku and other opposition leaders for not openly supporting the protest. Faith. Of course, Atiku wasn't a part of yesterday's protest. And now some Nigerians are coming out to say this speaks volume, that the silence basically speaks volume. What are your thoughts on this? Because now, let me quote someone. Someone said, Atiku is acting like a big man, always absent in protest. And when it comes to stakeholders meetings, comes to elite meetups and all that, you will find him there. But when it comes to protest, he's always absent. Does this speak volume to you?
I mean, the man chips himself into matters to him, which he considers to be pressing issues. like the matters with the refineries, he spoke up against that. But regarding the protest issue, I believe it actually speaks volume, actually, because INEC is trying to do the right thing here, but Pabio is impeaching on that because they are trying to do whatever they want to do with this result. So I believe eventually he will come out, say whatever he wants to say about it, but the silent treatment does call for some questioning.
The thing is not outrightly silent. It comes on social media to type stuffs. It goes on platforms to actually say some things and all that, especially against some of the ills happening in the country. But when it comes to coming out to protest, we had Tinubu. We had some, elites in the society come out to protest during Goodluck Jonathan's administration. Have you ever seen Atiku come out to protest, in gatherings like this?
No, I haven't actually.
So, do you think just coming on social media to talk about, things or people policies and reforms, just coming out on social media, you think it's enough to, stop these things or perhaps fight against these things?
Protesting is a way of our leaders saying that they are in support of what is actually going on and they are at the forefront of this battle. So social media does its job, but it doesn't speak as loudly as the protest would speak. Like when Peter Obi showed up yesterday, it created, there was volume there. People tweeted it everywhere. So I believe if he was to be present at least one time, it would have made a great difference. So that's my take on it.
All right, so let's quickly get down to Akpabio. Now, some individuals, CSOs and CLOs, Esther, are calling for the impeachment of Akpabio. Do you think that's justifiable, especially with the fact that, Akpabio and his deputy Barrow is in the forefront of rejecting the Clause 60 of the Electoral Act as amended, as it concerns, real-time passage of election result? Do you think calling for his impeachment is justifiable, all because he's calling for the rejection of mandatory election transmission of result?
Okay, Akpabio is standing as a hindrance to Nigerians moving forward, right? Because I really do not know the reason for him trying to stop what we are trying to do. We are trying to make election transmitted in real time. So if calling for his impeachment can bring him to his senses, then it's very justifiable.
Okay, so you think he should be impeached?
He should.
Judy, do you think Akpabio should be impeached?
Well, I would have to agree with Esther now because him and the other members of the Senate are in the way. They are trying to get in the way of transparency and justice. I think, yes, if that will make him do his job better, then yes, he should be impeached.
But, I still want to quickly talk about, protest. I asked a question on Atiku about him not coming out to protest and all that. Do you think protest should be the only way our leaders should understand our plight?
Actually, at this point, it feels like there's really nothing we can do
aside just
the
protesting.
Yes, because how else are we going to get them to hear us? The peaceful protests are the way that we can get their attention. So,
of course, yeah. and I think we Nigerians almost got the attention of the Senate because, of course, today the Senate is going to reconvene to talk about, to talk extensively about the electoral reforms and all that. But let's move on to the next story quickly. Nigeria's First Lady, Olurembi Tinubu, has described the United States Christmas Day airstrike on Islamic militant in northwest Nigeria as a blessing, signaling Abuja's openness to deeper U.S. involvement in tackling insecurity. Speaking to Fox News Digital during a week-long visit to Washington, Tinubu said Nigeria looks forward to sustained collaboration with the United States on security matters. She cited rising threats from insurgents and bandits operating in forests and kidnapping for ransom, stressing government effort to protect citizens, including a nationwide security emergency plan to recruit 50,000 police officers and the redeployment of over 11,000 officers to conflict zones. Tinubu said recent U.S. attention to attacks on Christians has opened dialogue between both countries, which she believes would yield positive outcomes. Also, American TV host Tony Perkins has said he declined a request by Nigeria's First Lady, Oluremi Tinubu, to use his platform to address religious freedom issues, accusing the Nigerian government of attempting to cover up alleged killings of Christians. In a viral video aired on Washington Watch while hosting U.S. lawmaker Chris Smith, Perkins said Tinubu approached him to appear on the program, but he refused. "I'm not going to meet with them," Perkins said, adding that he would not give them a platform to cover up what they are doing in Nigeria. While the Nigerian government maintains there is no religious genocide, some U.S. lawmakers continue to insist that Christians are being targeted. Also, King Charles III and Queen Camilla have invited Nigerian President Bola Tinubu for a state visit to the United Kingdom, an invitation the president has accepted. Let's quickly watch the interview with the First Lady Oluremi Tinubu, while speaking on insecurity and, of course, the United States airstrike that happened on December 25 last year.
It was quite a blessing with the government in that area.
Yeah, so would Nigeria welcome that deeper
We
U.S.
did,
involvement?
we did. It was quite a blessing. Whatever is happening, at times, who would have, you said President Trump recognized me. Who would have thought that would happen, to even say the least? So when you look at that, I'm getting global recognition in all of it. I'm getting global recognition of the government in that area.
Yeah, so would Nigeria welcome that deeper
We
U.S.
did,
involvement?
we did. It was quite a blessing. Whatever is happening, at times, who would have, you said President Trump recognized me. Who would have thought that would happen, to even say the least? So when you look at that, I'm getting global recognition in all of it, despite, and that is what life is all about. If something is going to be good, it will come from, the rebels, and it starts like that. And then we have that attention, we have the conversation going, and we expect, there will be more, it's going to yield a better fruit for us. And
Faith, you've listened to the First Lady, Senator Oluremi Tinubu. Aside her singing her praise and all that, of course, she was talking about how she has been recognized by Donald Trump. She seemed, ecstatic. She seemed very happy, about a recognition or acknowledgement by Donald Trump, the United States president. But aside that, she went further to say the airstrike that happened on Christmas Day was a blessing to Nigerians. In fact, she's seeking for more. But let's be very sincere here. This is the reality. Despite that airstrike, we've had series of insecurity. We've had series of kidnapping of worshippers, Christians, the one that happened recently in Kwara State where Muslims were also killed and burned even in their house and all that. Do you think that United States airstrike was a blessing? Should we even seek for more?
I don't see how an airstrike on a Christmas day can be described as a blessing. It actually doesn't go. It doesn't go, actually. I mean, Nigeria acts like a country that doesn't have resources, doesn't have military enforcement to protect its citizens, but that's very wrong. I mean, we currently have lots of armed forces, the newly established ones and the ones we had before. But it's like everybody is just sitting down doing nothing. How can a Christmas airstrike be a blessing to the country? And why are you seeking more? First of all, what is the root cause of these issues? I mean, these bandits, as they have described it, seems to be people who are being reinforced by the same people who are in the government, saying that this is against the citizens. So why don't we root out where this is actually coming from? Who is enforcing them? Who is mobilizing them? From there, I remember.
So you're saying aid from international communities is not even the solution here?
It's not the solution here. I mean, we're still having issues currently, are we not? So I remember when Nigeria was still fighting for its independence, back then in the 90s. I remember this country did not have as much military power as we have today. But I read in news lines, newspapers, and television how they deployed forces to various zones, forests, and they were actually doing the real job. I mean, they were dedicated to the process of protecting the citizens. But now it's not like it's like they are there to earn a salary.
So
not
what
actually to do
changed?
the
What
job.
changed? What do you think
I think
changed?
everything became politicized. Everything became things leaders are doing for their own personal self-interest. These things actually have interest in them. So if this interest serves what they want at the end of the day, they don't care who dies or who lives.
All right. Thank you very much, Faith. Let's move on to Judith quickly. Judith, Esther has said her piece. I would also want you to say your piece on this. Do you think we need more airstrikes? Do you think we need, more intervention from the United States military, even despite the fact that Donald Trump had promised will do more and all that? Because, of course, insecurity has been escalating. Despite the airstrike, despite the threats from Donald Trump, we're still having issues of kidnapping. I said yesterday, some church members in the Catholic Church, while doing night vigil, were kidnapped. So do you think we should, invite more of Donald Trump's operation in Nigeria?
Well, personally, I believe that if you are asking for help, you have to be doing something to help yourself before you ask for help from other people.
Do
What
your
are we
best and
doing? Exactly.
allow
What
the
are
rest.
we doing? Not like allowing the rest, but if I'm going to ask you for help, I have to show you that I'm doing something to help myself get out of this situation.
Okay.
So what is we have security agencies in this country. What are they doing to help us? Because we hear cases every time. There is an attack in this place, and then hours later, the military men are sent. Why do they not send them while the attacks are going on? Why do they wait for hours? Sometimes as much as 10 hours, 12 hours later, you are sending them to go and do what? The people are already killed. The attack has already happened. So why are you sending them there? What are they going there to do?
So why do you think these delays happen? Honestly, let's get your honest review from this. Why do you think all the time? This is not the first time. It happened in Niger State. This is not even the second time where we hear of delays, by military military officers, even our police officers sometimes too. So why do you think there's a delay? Is there a communication breach? Is it? I don't know. What do you think is the problem?
I do not believe there is a communication breach.
You think it's intentional?
Yes, I honestly feel it is intentional because we are in the age where technology is everywhere. There is no way something would be happening here, and we all have cell phones. We would obviously call for help. We would call people, would send messages, and then they don't come. And hours later, they are coming. I think it also begs the question of, is it from their leaders? Because they wait for orders from the leaders. So is it their leaders that intentionally delay them, or the men themselves intentionally refuse to come? I think that we should actually
or maybe
be holding
it's
the
probably
leaders.
the people or the leaders of the community not actually communicating. Do you think it might be like that too?
That could be an option, but I don't think anybody would watch his people being killed and intentionally keep quiet about it until hours later then start calling for help, unless the leaders of the communities also have a hand in it, and then that becomes valid. All
right, thank you very much, Judith. Quickly, I like going through online comment, especially on X. Esther, I came across one. This is what one netizen said. He said, the First Lady did not go to seek dialogue on religious freedom. She went there for damage control. What are your thoughts on this statement?
Damage control. Okay, I think the person has a point, because she was even seeking for not really a podcast, more like an interview on the
to talk about the genocide
in Nigeria, and she was denied access to do that. So why would she go there to say that in Nigeria there is no Christian genocide, or she's trying to...
She didn't actually say there's no Christian genocide anyway. She didn't outrightly say that.
But she was going to say that before she was denied access. He said he didn't want to give her the opportunity to come on TV and try to lay low on what is going on in Nigeria.
No, I think the US TV host kind of just said that because probably he felt emotional about the whole thing. What Tinubu went there for was probably, come interview me, let's talk about the issue of Christian genocide in Nigeria. You understand? Probably the US TV host wasn't too logical about it and felt, no, this is the government. They'll probably just want to cover up stuff and all that. So she didn't literally say she's coming out to cover up anything. But at the same time, People might say they don't trust whatever comes out of the first lady, of course, because she's part of the government. But don't let us also forget this. She's also a woman of God, or is there a woman of God, or she's a man of God? She's a pastor. You understand? So does that actually connect to the fact that she might want to accept that there's Christian genocide? Because she has not said there's no Christian genocide. She being a leader of the church as well. Do you think there's kind of a correlation to the fact that she can help the whole situation as a whole?
Aside being a Christian leader, she's also a political ally to her husband, right? So I don't think she's going to come out and say that this is what's happening outrightly. She would also want to lay low the situation so she's a wife, she's a mother. So she's, aside being the Christian leader, she will still play her duties as a wife. So
as a wife, so you think she should not be independent of her thoughts?
she will be, but the thoughts would also have a link to what's going on as her husband being the president.
Faith, if you were the wife of the president, would you come out to say, yes, there's Christian genocide, if your husband is saying there's no Christian genocide? If you're the wife of the president?
First of all, the first lady being in the U.S. is her trying to position herself as someone with independent, not really independent, but as someone who is at the forefront of things. Who is trying to impact the country in a type of way and also have international influence. So with you going in that direction, you should first of all have independent thoughts. You should have your own thinking, regardless of the fact that your husband is a president.
But don't you think she's limited in a way? The fact that she's the wife of the president.
She is definitely limited in lots of ways, not just in a way. So I think she's trying to mediate and at the same time also mellow down something. See, the US, they are not dumb. It's actually a very, very smart nation. And even when they're helping us in things like this, I think they are very much aware of the fact that there is a cover-up somewhere. There is a background to all of these things. Like I said earlier, there is always something underneath. So maybe at this point, they are trying to understand what is the root cause of this issue before they keep on intervening on our behalf. And we are not telling them the truth.
So do you think she's there for damage control, or she's actually there to dialogue with the United States? From her body language, from the statement she had made so far, one way or the other, she had defended her husband, saying they had recruited over 50,000 officers and they're working hand in hand with the United States and other international communities to make sure genocide and killings and kidnapping are stopped or reduced to a manageable level in Nigeria. So do you still think it's dialogue from those statements, or you think it's just a form of damage control?
Dialogue. To me, what I think she's
it's
doing,
in between dialoguing and damage control.
What I think she's actually doing is she's trying to strengthen the international liaison she has with the US.
Okay, like for personal whatever, not for the benefit of Nigerians.
To be honest, nothing in this country to the benefit of Nigerians.
All right, thank you very much, Faith. A U.S. District Court judge has issued a firm ultimatum to the FBI and DEA, ordering the immediate and transparent release of investigative records linked to the Nigerian President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. The ruling, delivered Monday, February 9, 2026, faulted the agencies for unreasonable delays in complying with the Freedom of Information Act request, rejecting pleas for more time. The court imposed a strict bi-weekly reporting schedule. The judge also dismissed earlier attempts to block disclosure, calling for the FBI's argument neither logical nor plausible. Citing overwhelming public interest, the agencies must submit joint progress and their report every 14 days starting February 27, detailing pages reviewed and released. I think I'll need to come back to Faith on this one also. If the FBI or the DEA of the United States of America has nothing to hide, why the delay? This delay has taken years. The procrastination to release these files has taken years. So what is the problem? Why is this delay happening?
In the end, it all comes down to this being a political dilemma, a political situation. The DEA, the FBI, delaying the release of these files of Tinubu is Tinubu is the president, not a regular terrorist or a regular man who is doing something. It's the president. So I believe the delay is in the case of there has been some gains, some mutual benefits in this process. I give this, you keep this for me. You don't do this while we do this.
So you think there's a negotiation between the FBI, the DEA, and the president of Nigeria?
Negotiation there. And now that the court is intervening, that's when the matter has gone out of their hands. So now they're requesting for the release of these files. So it has gone past the president's hand and the FBI's hand. It's now in the court's hand. So we need this released. Apart from that, I believe there will definitely be dirty files in there. That's why this thing is looking like. If it was a regular terrorist, long before we would have had those on headlines. But no. Because if these files are being released, it's going to serve as a turning point, like an upper hand for the opposition party to use it against the president.
All right, so, all right, thank you very much, Faith. Esther, do you think if these files are being released, is it going to affect the people of Nigeria? Is it going to affect governance in any way?
Of course not. How would it affect Nigerians if the files are released? It has nothing to do with Nigerians, if you ask me. It's his own benefit, just like Faith said.
Right. It's the president's benefit?
Yes, if you ask me, that's what it is.
Okay, Judith, is it for the president's benefit? Because if there are files that are suspicious, if there are files that are incriminating, is it not going to affect you as a person and other Nigerians out there?
Well, I don't think it's going to benefit the president in any way, because he's obviously taking steps to keep these things hidden for a reason.
I don't know if it's being obvious. Because
I mean, the FBI, the people that have the files, are refusing to bring out the files. They are refusing to release it. It obviously has something to do with it. Because I know the first time I heard of this issue, it was like 2023, after the general elections, before he was sworn in. People were calling for things like this.
Before the elections and all, during primaries.
Like this. So it's been years. If obviously these files have nothing incriminating or suspicious in it, then they would have released it long ago. So I don't think it would benefit him in any way. I think actually it would be against him, like Faith said, because the elections are coming up. They know that whatever is in those files would influence the decisions of many people, of Nigerians, and
do you think this is the reason why the president has not met Donald Trump?
It could be, and it could also be for other reasons best known to him.
All right. Thank you very much, Judith. Quickly, Senate President Godswill Akpabio has sparked controversy after linking improved security in Plateau State to Governor Caleb Mutfwang's decision to join the All Progressives Congress APC. Speaking on Monday at Mutfwang's official reception into the ruling party in Jos, Akpabio said, "Killings in the state must now be reduced and minimized." He suggested that tackling insecurity was only possible outside the opposition, describing Mutfwang, a pastor, as a righteous man whose leadership should bring relief to Plateau residents. Akpabio also claimed the governor privately admitted he could not save his people while in opposition, a remark that has drawn sharp public reactions. You know, while reading this, I almost laughed. I'm sorry. While reading this, I almost laughed. This is your uncle, Senate President. The Senate President is your uncle. Akpabio is your uncle. Faith.
Yes.
What happened? You know, we were discussing off air that Akpabio wasn't like this when he was the governor.
He was never like
so
this.
So what changed?
He was the best governor we ever had. I don't know what happened. Because, like you said, you said he's the most careless stalker ever. Because this is actually a very careless stalk. It means that if we are not in APC with we are not safe.
It means you're not
We're
safe.
not safe. So we have to find a way and save ourselves, protect ourselves. That's what it means. How do you tell a governor that, thank God, you are here now, so we can now protect the people? So before, his state was at risk because he was in the opposition party. Like, how do you say that?
So, Esther, is this not the same thing as politicizing the lives of the residents in Plateau State? Come on, this statement.
It sounds more like it because, honestly, I find it really amusing. You're happily telling a governor that he has now paved way for security in his state because he joined the leading. How I don't know.
Should
are
we
you
now call?
debating
Should we
like-
now ask?
It's a political affair now.
It
It means
is.
security
It
is
is.
political, no
I
longer.
mean-
Is this not even an open confession to? I don't know.
all the things that has been done in the background? You mean
Because this is politicizing the lives of the people.
everything
of
in
course.
this country, right from politics, economy, agriculture in this country is actually very.
Because do you know how
politicized.
this sounds? It means if you are of the APC, don't worry, bandits and kidnappers will not touch
will
you
not
guys.
disturb you.
This is like saying we're in control of them. Don't worry. But let's be very sincere. We have state like Niger State. The governor is APC. We have other states as well. APC control state, and insecurity still persists.
Look
despite the fact
at
that
this. If this banditry situation has been going on in Plateau State,
Mm.
and they keep saying they are sending troops to intervene, yet people are dying. There is zero intervention. It somehow seems that this has been a purposeful action. Like, let them go, but later they can go when everything has already been done. So now that the man has realized what's causing these delays, what's causing this problem, what's even causing the attack in the first place, he has realized this and he has turned over to them. He has submitted himself. In fact, it's like, I have repented, I've come to you now. This is where I am. He's now saying, finally you've gained some senses. Now we can help you. That's what it's looking like.
All right.
So who knows that's the same thing with all of the attacks going on all around the country.
Because Judith, I still repeat myself. We have lots of, in fact, APC is being controlled by, or APC is controlling about 30 states in Nigeria, and yet these states still experience insecurity. So how does this? Do you think this statement actually makes sense?
The statement obviously makes no sense. And I think he should be held by what he said. He should be asked to explain what he meant exactly by that. Because what do you mean you are telling a governor that defected to your party that now the state is now safe? He has to explain what he means. Because, as you said, other states too have had cases of killings in the states. So I think those other state governors too should also have questions for him. Because what are you saying? Okay, this person now, since he has moved to APC, his state is now safe. So how about us too?
Okay,
Why are we are getting attacked?
Of course, perhaps it's time to ask Akpabio, especially the governors who are in the APC or who recently defected to the APC. Maybe it's time to ask Senate President Akpabio, like, come on, we joined the APC and yet insecurity persists. Sir, why did you lie to us?
Exactly. So
I
he should
doubt.
explain.
I've never seen a political leader in this country being held to account for what he or she said or what he or she did. That in fact, those judicial things are mostly for regular people. They will never ask him what he meant.
All right. We are taking a short break right now, and of course, when we return, we will bring you the latest on some other stories. So stay with us and keep sharing this stream.
In terms of tackling security, there is lack of political will.
Beyond the headlines,
Who are the sponsors of insecurity in this country?
from breaking news to everyday conversations, this is where Nigeria's conversations begin. We track the issues shaping Nigeria and the world today. The world is talking, and we're listening. This is Trends on LJE News.
In terms of tackling security, there is lack of political will.
Beyond the headlines,
Who are the sponsors of insecurity in this country?
from breaking news to everyday conversations, this is where Nigeria's conversations begin. We track the issues shaping Nigeria and the world today. The world is talking, and we're listening. This is Trends on LJE News.
In terms of tackling security, there is lack of political will.
Beyond the headlines,
Who are the sponsors of insecurity in this country?
from breaking news to everyday conversations, this is where Nigeria's conversations begin. We track the issues shaping Nigeria and the world today. The world is talking, and we're listening. This is Trends on LJE News.
In terms of tackling security, there is lack of political will.
Beyond the headlines,
Who are the sponsors of insecurity in this country?
from breaking news to everyday conversations, this is where Nigeria's conversations begin. We track the issues shaping Nigeria and the world today. The world is talking, and we're listening. This is Trends on LJE News.
In terms of tackling security, there is lack of political will.
Beyond the headlines,
Who are the sponsors of insecurity in this country?
from breaking news to everyday conversations, this is where Nigeria's conversations begin. We track the issues shaping Nigeria and the world today. The world is talking, and we're listening. This is Trends on LJE News.
In terms of tackling security, there is lack of political will.
Beyond the headlines,
Who are the sponsors of insecurity in this country?
from breaking news to everyday conversations, this is where Nigeria's conversations begin. We track the issues shaping Nigeria and the world today. The world is talking, and we're listening. This is Trends on LJE News.
In terms of tackling security, there is lack of political will.
Beyond the headlines,
Who are the sponsors of insecurity in this country?
from breaking news to everyday conversations, this is where Nigeria's conversations begin. We track the issues shaping Nigeria and the world today. The world is talking, and we're listening. This is Trends on LJE News.
In terms of tackling security, there is lack of political will.
Beyond the headlines,
Who are the sponsors of insecurity in this country?
from breaking news to everyday conversations, this is where Nigeria's conversations begin. We track the issues shaping Nigeria and the world today. The world is talking, and we're listening. This is Trends on LJE News.
All right, you're welcome back. Don't forget, it's still Trends on LJE News. Let's move on to the next story quickly. Petroleum marketers have hinted at the possible nationwide reduction in fuel prices following a shift in market parity. The president of the Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria, IPMAN, Abubakar Megandi, said imported petrol has become cheaper than locally refined fuel from the Dangote refinery. Data from the Major Energies Marketers Association of Nigeria shows imported petrol is about 77 naira per litre lower than Dangote's 799 naira gantry price, furling expectations of an imminent price adjustment across the country. Mr. Chidi just joined us. Mr. Chidi, how are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you.
Okay, hope your journey from wherever you came from was safe, was peaceful, serene.
Exactly.
No one disturbed you. All right. So let's move on to this particular story. So, don't you think this, in a way, has exposed monopolistic practices in Nigeria?
What has exposed? Is it because somebody came on air to tell us that there's speculation? You know,
So don't you think imported fuel is now cheaper? Because this is not the first time we've heard this. I think some other independent marketers has also come out to say the landing cost of petrol imported is about 729 naira. And now Dangote gantry price is about 799 naira. 77 naira different from, the imported petrol.
For me, the most important thing is we're a country that have become a laughing stock. You know, if you ask me, it's not enough for us to hear things like this. Dangote has made petroleum cheaper. I mean, realistically, if they say it's cheaper, let us see the filling station that sells it cheaper. You know, these are people, for me, who are not happy about the progress of Nigeria. The reason is because you shouldn't come up to say those things. We should need to see practical results. We need to see your filling stations, selling it cheaper, and then you make this kind of pronouncement. It's angering the sensibilities of Nigerians. So, and then the real person who has made petroleum cheaper and available to Nigerians is Dangote, who deserves so much federal government support, and he's not getting as much as he desires.
So you're saying these are just speculations? These are not true?
These are distractions from. For me, it's a distraction from what we should focus on: the transmission of results. You know, we should focus on serious issues. You know, these are just side attraction by the government that's in power. Because I mean, you cannot tell us that petroleum price is cheaper by how much, and then you cannot find that in the market. Show us where it is sold. We'll go there and purchase it. Then you can make valid statement. Just stop playing with our intent.
All right, so Esther, don't you think this is a serious matter? You know, Mr. Chidi just said that this is not really serious. We should talk about electoral reforms and all that. Don't you think this is as serious as electoral reforms and all?
It is, because I mean, the influence of fuel it affects everybody. We pay transport to work every day. We use fuel. Even the powering of this place is affected by the prices of this thing. So it affects us as Nigerians, right? And if you ask me, this whole thing, it should be fixed. It really should be fixed, because it's affecting us.
All right. So what are your thoughts, Faith, on this matter?
First of all, how is importation of fuel for a mega country, the giant of Africa, that is said to have reserves of crude oil in the southern states, saying like they are pronouncing importation to be something that is normal, should be practiced. Like we should be proud of ourselves for importing petrol when we have multiple refineries not doing their job, getting pumped in with financial resources, and they are not doing anything. For now, Dangote came up. He gave us petroleum. He supplied us with what we are looking for. Even though at first it may have been expensive, but Nigerians, we have adapted to the situation because we have to make do with what we have. So them saying that imported fuel is actually cheaper
than
Dangote's fuel is like you trying to undermine the man's effort in all that he has done.
All right, so let me put it this way for you. Don't you think this is going to create a form of competition, you know, in the oil and gas sector?
Everything in this country is political.
Because if you're leaving everything to Dangote, in fact, the NNPCL boss Ojulari himself had come to say Nigerians should praise Dangote. So if you're giving Dangote this kind of power, don't you think it's monopolistic to a certain level?
If the Nigerian government does not want Dangote to wield such power, then they should provide us with actively functioning refineries. Refining petroleum for us at a cheaper rate than Dangote is offering us. We have to see solutions in the market, on the street, before we can come out and say, the country is doing well, let us keep importing, let us keep doing this. But for now, this is what we have. So let's rather face what's actually pressing in the country right now, which is security and all these political dilemmas.
All right. Thank you very much, Faith. So that's it for today's edition of Trends on LJE News. Many thanks to my colleagues, my broadcast friends in the studio. Mr. Chidi, thank you very much for coming around.
I appreciate it.
All right, Esther, we appreciate your contributions.
Thank you.
Your opinions are also acknowledged, Faith.
Thank you very much.
All right, so don't forget to always follow, like, share, and subscribe at LJE News on all social media platforms, of course, to stay in the loop and join the conversation ahead of our next show. My name is Omotola Adeleke. See you next time. Bye for now.
In terms of tackling security, there is lack of political will.
Beyond the headlines,
Who are the sponsors of insecurity in this country?
from breaking news to everyday conversations, this is where Nigeria's conversations begin. We track the issues shaping Nigeria and the world today. The world is talking, and we're listening. This is Trends on LJE News.